Hey everyone, it's Kenton Becker, American Pacific Mortgage. I am here with another weekly video tip for you. This week's tip is all about credit, and I may actually expand this into multiple weeks. I'm not sure, it kind of depends on what I get done here. To this week's tip, I want to talk about how to improve your credit score. And really, there's a lot of ways to improve your credit scores, honestly. First thing that I want to mention is, in general, there are two main things that affect your credit score. The largest thing that affects your credit score is your payment history. Do you make your payments on time? If you've missed a payment, if you have collections, judgments, bankruptcies, any negative items are going to be damaging to your credit score. Payment history is one of those topics or one of those things that when it does damage the credit score, it tends to stay on there for a longer period of time. Payment history or late payments is not one of those things that when you have one late payment, it just tanks your credit score and it's never going to recover. It's going to take years to recover. No, payment history is something that's cumulative, which just means if you have one late payment, it probably is not going to affect your credit score that much. And even if it does, you'll recover from it very quickly. But if you have another late payment, it's going to affect it even more. And then another is even more. If you, let's say, went on vacation and you thought all your bills were covered, but you got back and you missed one credit card payment, get caught up, get current on it, and your credit score will recover if it even was affected that much at all. But when you get in that cycle of, okay, I had a couple late payments and then I missed this payment and then, oh, that payment got late and I wasn't monitoring this and now I've got a collection, that all starts to add up and you're going to see a major decrease in your credit score. And unfortunately, that not only decreases it a lot, but it's going to stay with you a longer time. The best thing you can do for that is to get caught up, start using your credit again, and showing good activity on the credit score. The number one thing that fixes bad credit is good credit. So if you had a late payment, how do you fix that? You show on-time payments. Now, it may take a while of on-time payments to really improve the credit score, but it will happen. It's not magic, it's not rocket science. It's very simple concept. Bad credit is fixed with good credit. That's it. The next thing, or the second thing that can be the biggest impact on your credit score, is your balances on credit cards. In other words, when you have a credit card, how much do you owe? What is the balance? And what is the limit of that card? If you have a limit and your balance is right at that limit, you've maxed out that credit card. And unfortunately, that has a very damaging effect on your credit score. In fact, I've even researched and looked that a high or a maxed out credit card can damage your credit score as much as 30 to 40 points per credit card. And it's that per credit card part that I want you to focus on. Because many times when somebody allows one credit card to get maxed out, a lot of times the other credit cards that they may have are also higher balances or close to being maxed out. So when you start getting 2, 3, or 4 credit cards that are maxed out, you're going to see that affect your score by sometimes up to 75 to 100 points or more. There is good news with this. The good news is this is one of the easiest things that you can fix overnight. All you have to do is pay off the credit card. I know it's easy, but it's sometimes easier said than done. But if you can get on a plan that stops using that credit card for a moment and just works on paying it off, paying down the balance, you will see your credit score increase in sometimes as little as 30 days or less. I've had clients where they were just under what we needed for a requirement to get them a better rate or to get them better financing. And all they needed to do was put $500, $1,000 towards a credit card, get it just below the balance we needed, and less than 2-3 weeks later, we had a higher credit score and we were able to take advantage of those better terms for their loan. Now, there are some things that you can do in terms of credit repair. There's companies out there that will help you dispute if there's errors on your credit or things that are on there. In my experience seeing clients, the credit repair, it sometimes works, especially if you do have things on your credit that are in error or they shouldn't have been on there in the first place. Definitely work with a credit repair company to dispute those items and get them removed. But if it was a legitimate late payment, a legitimate collection, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, to go through the dispute process. I have found it's like 50-50, and sometimes how long it takes credit repair companies to go through that, you could have probably done just as good of a result yourself by just getting back on track, making your payments on time, and doing the right things that I just mentioned. I'll just say this. I've seen clients go into a credit repair company, spend $100 a month, and after 18 months, their credit score was finally where it needed to be. That may sound okay, but you have to remember they just spent $1,800 over that 18-month period, and I start to question, could they have got the same results just making their own payments on time, keeping their credit card balances low? They probably could have had similar results just doing that. The thing is, late payments, collections, judgments, the longer it goes, the less it affects your credit score. So if you do wait 18 months doing credit repair, a lot of those late payments like collections, late payments, etc., they're really not going to be affecting your score that much anyway. And the last 18 months of good history of making your payments on time and keeping your credit card balances low, that's going to have a bigger impact on your credit score improving. Again, I've seen clients increase their scores 100, 150 points just by paying down debts and making their payments on time on their current credit cards. Doesn't have to be a challenging thing. You just have to be diligent. You have to be focused. You have to know what your goals are and know what you need to be doing, and that is the ways that you get there to improve your credit score. If you have any questions on credit, feel free to comment below. I always respond to the comments. I know credit can sometimes be confusing. It really doesn't have to be. Pretty straightforward, but if you do have a question, comment below or shoot me an email, text, phone call, whatever you need to get that question answered. Thanks so much for joining me this week. Have a great week.